How's it going?
Good. HEXIEST Man, thank you so much for joining us
Yeah,
tonight.
happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Love it.
Especially with FC's dad. I mean, you know what I mean? It's always an honor.
That's right.
Honestly.
It's so
He's the
cool.
best person on the stream right now.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, very smart man. I mean, getting his daughters into crypto early and into the good cryptos, you know? I mean, it's a very wise man you are.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
It's benefited me in lots of ways. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you've benefited the community so much. I mean, in terms of just the instructional videos that you put out and the informational videos you put out. I mean, it's like I said, I've sent a lot of people to your content for onboarding and also for just information about different things within the ecosystem, different things that are in the PulseChain ecosystem. And yeah, you were kind of like one of the first to really kind of start to cover a lot of the PulseChain, like the different things on PulseChain coming out, which is really cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I was looking through your channel today and I was like, you haven't posted in a hot second.
I haven't. So I mean, so I was doing the stream every week on the Gen Hex channel. Like it was Craig. It is now, and myself and Brian, or Craig,
wow.
Brian. It is now, and myself, and then his channel. I think I was talking to you about it at the Hex meetup the other week. HexRay was helping him. He was helping people resolve their goals, which is one of the coolest things about this community. Like HexRay was, I want to go out and help other people achieve their goals because that's a good way to achieve your own, or at least to have good things come to you. And one of the things, like the monetization for the Gen Hex channel had been sitting there for months, and HexRay was trying to help and deleted the channel, but unfortunately, or deleted the old channel, but that was the mother channel of the actual channel. So basically the daughter channel got completely erased and obliterated. So with the timing of some certain things, people have asked, like, are you sure you're not just like avoiding any of the crazy stuff going on? I'm like, no, like literally our whole channel got deleted. And so he's just working on getting that back up. And then we'll be back on every Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
But I did do a short though the other day. Shout out to Furu
I
on
saw
that.
that. Yes, I saw that. It was like a Richard Hart short, right?
Yeah, it was. And they're so easy to do. Like that's one of the things, like you can follow one of the Telegram groups that basically has the shorts already put together, and and you can just, I mean, it takes seconds to just upload it and download it, upload it, and they're basically like people have already done the content,
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
So
That's
yeah.
Cool. Well, you're already taking it and running with it.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, RH Max? What's up, Scarlett?
No, we have some good people. Let's hi to the people in the chat. Okay, so this is an AMA. So everyone in the chat, feel free to put your questions in because this is just going to be open form. Okay, Igor, let's go. So glad to be here. I'm so glad that you said yes to coming on the channel. Scarlett, absolutely. What is up? I love Scarlett.
I do too. She's awesome. She is so awesome. Cool.
And then RH Max, and love Max as well.
RH Max is awesome, dude.
Yes. Okay.
He's a bad A.
You have a question. I'm scared. Okay, Fashion Coder, could you explain liquidity of tokens and how much a new token would need? Okay, I don't feel like I'm the person to explain this. My dad's shaking his head. Dad,
have at it.
Answer the question for us.
I mean, when you say how much a new token would need, what are you meaning in terms of what it would need? I mean, what it really just needs is a pair. It really just needs a pair in the liquidity pool.
Yeah.
Of a way to exchange, So when you're saying would need for what, if you're saying it would need, for it to do a lot of volume or have massive price volatility, that would really kind of depend on how the token's designed and really how the liquidity is designed.
Yeah, as long as you can make a pair, you can.
That's it.
Yeah, there's liquidity regardless, right?
Yeah, if you can trade one thing for another, like we in the real world, we tend to do dollars for, if you think about it, the grocery store has a pool of dollars in their registers, and they have a pool of apples, a pool of cereals, a pool of milks. They have a bunch of different liquidity pools, or liquidity pairs, I should say, and it's really not much different than crypto. Yep. There's just an equation which you can find on her channel of how to figure that out.
Tim, I hope we answered that, but I think we did if you said thanks.
Absolutely.
The next question or topic. Michael Light, let's talk about the obvious stuff with PulseChain updates flying. Okay, Dad, there was an update recently where Richard talked about testnet v3 being private.
Yeah, it's private. Yeah, there was a tweet and there was a picture that showed V3. So
I missed this.
It's
I
private.
did too.
I wonder if I could find it.
Yeah, if you can find it.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe there won't be a V3.
You just go right to mainnet.
Just go right to mainnet.
Hey, I'm okay with that.
I feel like that would be scary though, in one sense. I think there's only one downside. And it's that if V3 looks different than V2, then the people that have been practicing wouldn't know the workflow of it. So I think it could throw some people off if we went directly to mainnet. I mean, it would be awesome if we did. But that's like one of the downsides I could see.
That's a good point.
Really been like, doing that.
And especially if people haven't been using, well, yeah, I mean, exactly how you said it. I mean, obviously it's going to be from what we know in ETH. Now my green screen fits. I had to scoot my desk. The green screen's new to me. I don't usually do the green screen, but ever since Maddie's conference, I did. But obviously being a fork of ETH too. Yeah, I mean, I guess like with PulseX and everything like that. And yeah, we would want to make sure that it looked a certain way.
Yeah.
I could see V3 being short-term, Crypto Maniac says.
Yeah.
I just sent it to you. Yeah. So see if you can. So it says, warning, this is staking launchpad for the PulseChain testnet v3. And it says, just some PulseChain teaser. It's working on private v3 testnet. So.
Oh, I retweeted it.
Did you?
Okay. That's funny. I always like coming across things and I'm like, oh, I did see this.
Yeah, no, I did not see that. So that is.
I'll put the link in the chat.
I mean, I had a feeling, like, of course I've had a feeling that it's coming soon, like I've had a feeling for a while. I mean, and I just got to make it clear that I've been, for anyone that's watching, anyone that's been like uptight about it or stressed out, like I really first of all, if I ever get any tokens on a new network for free, I'm super grateful. I made a political statement last year, or I guess the year before, and I sacrificed tokens, and if I end up being in receipt of then that's super awesome. But people have been speculating last May, right? And I was fine with testnet v2. I didn't think May was gonna happen, even though Richard said it. Like for some reason I thought I was preparing myself, I guess, for more. Mm-hmm. But okay, warning, this is a staking launchpad for PulseChain testnet v3.
Yep.
Interesting. 256 validators.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean there's 256 testing right now? That's what it would mean, I guess.
So, right?
Yeah. That's one of the things as far as, because obviously when it was going to be a BSC fork, we had a lot of people set up to be to be validators for that. And was that the term we were using? I think it was.
It was validator.
Yeah, it was your validator. Yeah, it was like David Feeder and Huddle Dog, and now I know that a lot of people got rid of, or they they I don't know if they're still planning on being a validator the same way, but I think it opens it up for more people to be able to be validators, right? Especially if it ends up being, what did he say, like 60 million pulse?
I thought it was 32 million.
32, no, that's what it was. 32 million pulse. That's right. It was 32 million pulse to be a validator.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to get rid of a lot of people unless they want to. I mean, obviously, it would have been 32 million would have been about $3,200,
right?
On the first, the first 5 days of the
first 5 days
of sacrifice. So, and to some people that's a lot, and to others it's not very much at all. But I might consider doing that. If I don't know, I'd have to probably upgrade one of my computers for a dedicated server, but
likewise,
something to think about, definitely.
So as far as setting up the, I mean, you're obviously a guy that understands tech pretty well. I like to consider myself a tech geek, but I haven't even looked into being a validator and what it would require and how I'd go about that. I mean,
Yeah, I haven't either. I have not either, actually. But I think you just probably have to, you know, dedicate some hardware.
yeah,
And, you know, so yeah, that would be something interesting to kind of go into, maybe in
Yeah.
another, because I haven't seen David Feeder or who's the other. I think
Huddle Dog.
Huddle Dog. I think
Yeah.
saw him. He did an interview. Didn't he get to interview Richard Hart in the Hex conference? I thought he did, or he got to do. Maybe he got to
I
present.
think he was in that rotation. I think he was in the rotation of getting to ask Richard the questions.
So, but I haven't seen David Peter for a while. But I know he was doing something. And I think the guy for Hedron, Alex, I think he was building
Alex.
a server farm, wasn't he? He was.
Yes, he was. He was going big with it. He was basically like, I mean, if you can imagine, like, you know, what the Bitcoin warehouses look like. I mean, we saw the infrastructure, like the inside of the building. I mean, he was going serious with it.
Yeah, pretty
Have
cool.
some serious validation going on there.
Huh. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I saw a question back up from Scarlet Rose. We need to kind of catch up.
Sloth. Yeah, sorry.
Let's see.
I'll let you guys lead. I see
No,
Sloth
you're
there,
good.
too.
We're having a good conversation. Is it this one, Dad?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you two talk about some strategies you have with the airdrop? Dad, what's your strategy?
My strategy is to move my PulseChain off of my Sacrifice wallet into a new one the first moment I can. That is the first thing I'm going to do.
Bingo.
That is the first thing, and that's not financial advice.
I'm certainly doing that as well.
Yeah, I'm moving it to a new wallet address that will be totally separate, just in case anybody at any time had access to my keys for reasons that none of us, when you first got your first MetaMask wallet, would have done. So I've already purchased the new hardware wallet, my new Trezor for that. So I'm ready to go. I moved everything already over that I could, all the ERC20 tokens, so that when everything goes live and when mainnet comes and everything is copied over, it's already in the new wallet. So nobody's ever seen these keys. They're never on. I just started that wallet straight on the Trezor. So so that's the first thing I would do. It doesn't look like, I mean, from the examples, I think Cryptographics did something the other day on trading your tokens and how much, you know, a 2-to-1, a 1-to-1, 2-to-1, up to like a 4-to-1, how much things would have to change in order for you to really make a lot. So I'm just going to stick with my, with the Pulse, you know, PulseChain token probably, and then maybe accumulate. I don't need any more Pulse, and I don't need any more PulseX. I think I sacrificed enough for those two that I feel really good. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just hold, let the dust settle a little bit. But those are the things that I can prepare, is just moving those over, and those are the things that I would want to do. And then most of my hex is all staked anyway, so I think I have a stake coming up. I just did like a 60-day stake, and kind of around the same time when the Godwell, his stake is up mid next month, or yeah, I think it's in February. So we kind of had the same time frame. I thought that was kind of interesting. I just wanted a short term. So, but I would want to accumulate more hex, definitely, especially if it's a great deal on the PulseX side. So probably just have some dry powder to buy more hex, because that would be my goal. I have enough of the others. I would like to have a lot more hex on the PulseChain side. So what about you?
Well said. Do you want to go first? I don't know, as far the format, am I supposed to go, or I always say ladies first?
You go, and then I'll go.
So, well, I would say that, I mean, I completely agree. First thing I'm going to do is send the funds. Now I'm going Ledger instead of Trezor. I'm not very familiar with Trezor. I've never really messed around with it, and I know that some people argue Trezor of why it's better. I think the most important thing, as long as you have a hardware wallet that it's just one you're comfortable with and you know how to use, I think that's the most important thing. I will say this, that there are a couple of people that you guys have probably met that are buddies that are local. You might have met it at some Hex meetup, but are Hexicans that were going to get into a pool around the PulseX sack, and they used a Trezor and brought a brand new computer, brand new everything, got a bunch of people, like family members, to put in funds, created a password without knowing they did it. Like, and I don't know Trezors well enough, but it's where that creates a hidden wallet within the wallet, right?
Mhm.
And they're still locked out. And they sent a transaction to the wallet to make sure everything worked well, but they never tried sending from, and they got locked out of, like tens of thousands of dollars. So it's heartbreaking, right? So
Yeah.
I'd say a wallet that you're comfortable with, that you know how to use. I would definitely say that whichever, as long as it's one of those two. I know there's some other ones that like Billy Boy Crypto showed me a cool one in at the March Vegas Hex conference. That's a touch screen. I forget the name of it, but I'll tweet it if I see it. But he swears by it. But first thing I'm going to do is get it into a different hardware, into its own separate, maybe even multiple hardware wallets, because I have multiple, and I want to be able to. I'd like to minimize my attack surface, or at least if one thing goes down for whatever reason, then I have others.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing, is I have a plan to distribute evenly. And then, I feel comfortable with where I sacrificed. Fortunately, I was aware of, and I wasn't aware of, I was not aware of Hex even that much ahead of the PulseChain sacrifice, maybe a couple months. And so fortunately, I was just good timing to get in for the PulseChain sacrifice and the PulseX sacrifice, should those actions result in tokens. And but I've always said this is my lucky number's 6, but I've basically said, hey, if the ratio of PulseX to Pulse is anywhere 6 and above, because I know that that's kind of outrageous, but I just said, if it's there, then I'd be happy to pick up some more PulseX with my Pulse. But other than that, if it's lower than that, then I'm really not going to mess with it. I'm just going to kind of see where it goes. And in the meantime, I sound redundant, but just accumulate Hex. Hex just took like a 15% dip, and if you're one of these guys like myself that likes to buy dips, then any purchase right around now with Hex, I'm comfortable with, just as far as my own finances go, not financial advice, but I'm very comfortable with that.
Right.
So that's what I recommend, or that's what I'm doing. Sorry.
Love it.
So it's probably a great idea to. I don't think that probably V3 and then mainnet's going to be a lot different than version 2 of the testnet. So it's a good idea to spend some time, learn how the functions work, learn how all that works. So this is what you can do now, and then when PulseChain goes live, I'm just going to stake all of my PulseX on the one-sided stake up.
Yep,
that's my plan. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to sit on it till 2025, 2026, whenever everything goes, and we'll just kind of see from there. So that's my strategy. And I maybe a little bit of it I might trade for some other tokens, but I think if I were to trade anything, it would be into more Hex on the PulseChain side. So.
And I'm very curious also about the incentive token, and so as far as liquidity goes, I do have other tokens that have just sat in my wallet, like that I haven't really done much with, that are ERC20s. I haven't really bought any since I got into Hex, but I have some. I've gotten some airdrops, some decent sized airdrops on the ERC20 side, and those are all going to be copied over to PulseChain as well. So as far as putting up some liquidity, I might do that and look to earn some incentive token. I'm very curious to learn more about the incentive token, and maybe it's a big to do about nothing. Because Richard said like it's not going to be much. It's going to be like a duct taped on token, but I don't know. That thing could do well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's great potential with that. My plan is very interesting. So I didn't get into the PulseChain sacrifice, and I knew about it.
What?
I know. So it was crazy. And it's my fault. Like, it's absolutely my fault. But I am going to blame it on getting my master's degree.
That's fair.
Because I was getting my master's degree and my dad and I just didn't talk about crypto for like 3 months. And it was during that time that it started and ended. And like some of my sisters got into it, some of my sisters' boyfriends got into it, and I didn't even get into it, and I'm your crypto child. So like it was the craziest thing. So I didn't get into PulseChain, which is fine. I went hard into PulseX, which I actually really like the PulseX token, and I didn't know much about it when I made the sacrifice for it. So mine's a little bit different. So obviously hardware wallet, all of that, moving things over from my original. And this is going to be a plug for hardware wallets. If you look in the description of this video, there are 2 links. One of them is to Trezor and one of them is to Ledger. So I'm an affiliate with both of them, which is kind of cool. But hardware wallet is, I mean, you can't go wrong unless you end up not writing your stuff down.
Yes.
So be very careful if you're going to be using them, but do all of that. And then I'm going to look at investing actually more into PulseX. I have a certain amount of Pulse that I want to have and I want to accumulate throughout time, but I'll just slowly work towards that. And then like right now is a great time to buy Hex, which is not financial advice, but I even bought Hex today and I am creating a stake today. And so Hex is just, it's a winner. It is a true winner.
What are you doing with Hex right now? What's your strategy? What did you do today?
Okay, so right now you can buy 1 T-share for, I think it was $650 about. Okay.
Steal.
It is a steal. And so I bought 1 T-share today, staking it for the 5555, and then in 15 years, you know, it's going to be worth however much it's going to be worth. So when my dad and I calculated it, it looked like it would be about $15 million. And so that's actually my my saving strategy right now is I'm buying 1 T-shirt every single month and staking it for that. And I'm like, wow, when I'm 39, I'm going to be getting myself some really good gifts every single month.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I just remember when a T-shirt was like $9,000. You know what I mean? Like that was not long ago. And we're talking in the past. I mean, in the future, as things grow and as much bigger ecosystem with PulseChain and a full layer 1, and you're going to have those you're going to also have those stakes on PulseChain. So that 15, I don't know if you calculated that into the 15 million, but add that extra cherry on your cake, you know?
Yeah, no, honestly.
So that number is if the Hex was $100 each, and in 15 years, you know, I think it definitely could be.
Oh, absolutely.
A hamburger might be $1,000 at that point.
That's true. Okay, let's say hi to the chat. We have been a little bit negligent. Okay, Crypto Maniac. I could see B3 being short. Let's see here.
Do Michael Light. Do Michael Light there real quick. It says there are only 25 to 35K sacrificers for Pulse. Do you think they will sell any? I'm not going to sell any, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, as far as if they will sell any, I mean, there will certainly be some people selling. I mean, I know somebody that did $1 million sacrifice for PulseChain, you know, and so I'm sure they're going to have some to sell. They're probably going to be some of that early liquidity, but I'm not planning on selling anything.
Yeah,
I want to sit on my layer 1 token. Just look what Ethereum, look what any layer 1 has done. I mean, what's the average they say a layer 1 has done? Like 150x or something, like within the first year, something like that.
It's pretty high. Yeah,
it's pretty high. And so, I mean, when you talk about a community as strong as ours, as big as ours, and then I mean, like I want to shout out Furu Finance again, like just with, or maybe it was in the green room, but and you've done shorts for a while. Like you've at least, like I saw some really good ones you did from PulseCon, but just really pushing everyone to get into the short-term like the short form content, because people's brains aren't what they used to be. That like the long form content, people don't digest as much. And I mean, if we just look at some of the most viral figures lately of recent time, like that's all short form content. And crypto, I mean, I could really see that growing it. So I think people will sell and I'm going to hold on to my gains while other people buy in.
Smart. Buy Bitcoin.
Buy Bitcoin.
Hey, let's see.
I'm just not that excited with Bitcoin's gains. I mean,
No.
it's nothing against Bitcoin. It was my first crypto.
Yeah. Well, a 5x would be 100K. A 10x would be 200K per token. What is Hex to move to 10 cents is going to give you a 5x right there. So yeah, so it's not even all-time high. It would be a 10x to get back up, or it'd be a 20x to get back up to all-time high, right? So
yeah, just to get to all-time high.
Yeah. So
yeah, and good luck on getting a 20x. I mean, I'm not expecting a 400K Bitcoin anytime soon. I mean, ETH is beating Bitcoin all day, even in the bear market. If you look at the analytics of it,
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Crypto says, "Good to see you."
Hey, you too, brother.
Okay, I'm going to call Will out here. Will is one of my favorite people, and he sometimes will send me his outfits and ask me if they look okay together. And
nice.
Yes. The other day he was wearing this like brown vest with brown pants, and the brown vest looked good with his shirt, but the brown pants did not. And so
were they different browns?
Yeah, they were just like kind of
different.
Do that. It was like kind of like a brown and a khaki. Anyways,
yeah.
So he is stepping up his style.
His fashion game. Well, yes. She's fashion and she's coder. She's got them both.
I don't know about that, but it was funny getting those pictures. And I was like, oh, yes, I can help you. Let's see. HODL for more than 2 years. And in my opinion, you are doing well.
And that's the thing is like, we're talking about this in the bear, like right now there's so much pain, right? And like, people are infighting in all different crypto communities, and I mean, certainly when you look at how big ours is, ours is no different. You see things like that. But I mean, when we're back into a bull market, it's like, if you've been able to hold through this bear, then you can certainly hold through the bull. But when you start seeing those crazy gains, make sure that you have a strategy for that too, because you need to, like, I mean, I bought my first Bitcoin at $95 a Bitcoin, and back in August 6th of 2013, and I literally thought I was a genius, selling them on a 5x, selling them on a 10x, and it's I think we're gonna see things way crazier than that, and you just gotta know how to hold, or just use staking options like Hex. Hex just makes it so you save yourself from that.
Exactly. Okay, we have a very interesting question. Okay, what brings Hex value? Convince me I'm new.
Okay, well, you said buy Bitcoin. I guess I would ask what brings Bitcoin value.
That's a good question.
and I guess the reason I'm saying, like, my opinion of that is that first of all, I think that Hex is a beautifully designed monetary system. I mean, it basically has 3.69% inflation, right? That stays consistent. The inflation goes to the stakers. It really acts similarly to a to certificate of deposit with a high yield. I know that I'm not calling it that. It's just it can act similar to it, but where you get penalties if you sell early, but you're really forced to hold on to it long term. And so I think what brings any crypto value is the community and people that are willing to exchange with it. And I know thousands of people that are willing to exchange with Hex. And remember, you can pair Hex with Ethereum, you can trade into different things. But when it's something that you're able to get more of just by holding it and staking it, and you're forced not to sell it, you're forced to basically keep your hands strong through when the markets get really volatile towards the upside, and and you've got a strong community around it. And whenever you have a big community that accepts something as a bartering tool, it goes back as far as history. I mean, what brings the dollar value? Yeah,
it's your belief in it, right? It's your confidence in it that you can use it as a way to trade, to barter, to buy something. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. What brings value is the community.
Yeah.
What will bring value to Hex on the PulseChain side will be $650 million worth of stable coins.
Yes.
Liquidity right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Okay,
that is so true.
Call out Crypto Maniac super quick before they leave. I love videos. I'm in the middle of finishing an update for Hex Track, so I have to go, but I'll be sure to watch the playback. Thank you so much for the gift. That was amazing.
Just hold on real quick. That is awesome that you gave the gift. Also, I don't know if you've done it yet, but if Fashion Coders, this isn't just a Crypto Mania. This is to everyone. If her ETH address is in the description, just know that that's another option of ways to contribute without giving media platforms money, and also it uses crypto, right? It brings more value to crypto. Every time we transact with crypto, it adds value to it.
Thank you.
Absolutely, I got to shout it out.
Thank you. Well, it was your idea.
Yeah, hey, I think you should do. I'm glad you did it.
Okay, let's see. Great discussion. Thanks, Scarlett. RH just tweeted an updated screenshot. One sec.
Is that the one we did?
I don't know.
I think that probably is the one, because yours was a screenshot, right? That you put up there.
Ooh, 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, he tweeted something. So one sec.
Okay.
We are going to
yeah.
screen again.
Oh.
We're going to look at
breaking news. Breaking.
Yeah, literally breaking news. Everyone.
Yeah.
Let me retweet it. Super
Yeah.
quick. Okay.
I'm wondering if people are saying from that previous one, like, oh, that's just Photoshop. People hating.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're using it because it was doing recent epochs 3 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Doing the blocks and this. Okay, interesting.
Very.
That's good.
Ooh, okay. So I made a video about these.
Guys, so hold on. Think about it. When was the last time Richard tweeted a screenshot from PulseChain, a PulseChain testnet? I can't think of a time. Can you? It's been a long time.
Yeah, outside of the one that we showed before this.
Yeah, besides the one you showed before. I mean,
yeah.
So I think that's saying something. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think that's saying something. We're getting close.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Just these different
Gold Pulse, Prism Pulse, Aragon Pulse, and Lighthouse Pulse. Those are the ones that you did the definitions of what they were.
Yeah.
Previous,
Do we want to go over what the definitions of them are since we're here?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull up my sheet because I put the time to figure this out. So we might as well talk about it. Okay.
All right. Well, this is good.
Yeah. Okay. So Go Pulse. Ooh, this is interesting. Is just like Go ETH, but it's for PulseChain, and it's the client who are building decentralized applications using the Go programming language. So we knew that. Prism is the blockchain protocol, which is designed to achieve a natural scaling of Bitcoin's performance, but in this sense, Pulse, while maintaining its full security guarantees. And then Aragon is a new generation software that allows enterprises to create and manage DAOs on a blockchain. And then Lighthouse is an open source consensus client that's written in Rust. So there are your definitions for each of those.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Cool.
Thanks for putting that time in.
Yeah.
See, that's why you come to this channel. She puts in time to find those things out. Yeah, because he was bringing that up during the conference. He was bringing up, I remember Aragon and a lot of people. He didn't even seem all that sure what it was, but
yeah,
exactly. I think he's got competent devs on board, guys, and that's why, that's why you want to make sure you take time to do things the right way. I've paid for custom software to be built before. It's never on time. If you're paying the right people, of course they try to do it as best they can, but things pop up and you got to deal with it as they pop up. Much less something that is going to be out there. Once it's out there, it's out there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Dad, you got a shout out from Michael.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. Do you think it is a good strategy to pull out all of Hex into PulseHex instead of ETH Hex?
Well, you're going. So you mean after you get? Because obviously, if you have ETH Hex, you're going to get PulseHex. You're going to get the system state copied. So, if you have 100 ETH hex, you're going to have 100 pulse hex, once it happens. So I know a lot of people that have talked about putting it onto the PulseChain side. What I want to keep some on both sides, but I think that eventually I'm going to, I think my new purchases for hex will probably be mostly on the PulseChain side.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of not being able, Ethereum, if you've looked at how centralized Ethereum's validators are, if they wanted to, they could, and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone here, but if they wanted to, they could conspire to fork a project out, and I don't think they would ever do that. But just that centralization, we've already seen things that have happened, like with tornado.cash or whatever, I just think the PulseChain network is going to be more decentralized. I think it will be. It won't have as many people, but I think it has a chance to grow into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the ETH side won't go away because everybody, unless they emergency end stake, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think that you'll always have the ETH hex side until for 15 years, right? We have all the stuff. Look at Maximus DAO and then all of the projects like that are still on the Ethereum side, and they will be for 15 years, right? Probably 14 and a half years now that they started last year. So I think I'm just going to hold those. If I were to buy any more from anything else or trade it, then it would be, like you said, they would be on the PulseChain side hex. I'll just keep what I have on the Ethereum side, but I won't emergency end stake or even maybe port them over. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe the stakes that are, I have some stakes that are 5, 10, 15 years. Maybe those ones I might, in the next 5 years, I have a stake coming out that maybe I will take it over to the port it over. I'm not sure. That's a good question, but I'm just going to leave everything there until it comes due. So
Yeah. We don't have PulseChain yet.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I am happily over here staking on ETH.
Yeah.
That's the option right now.
It's the original hex, right? It's the original hex that started. So I think I agree. There will always be that. There will always be a stable market as long as it doesn't get forked out or anything weird, which I don't see happening. But
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. From Patrice, FOMO brings value.
It does. It brings a lot of value. Look at things like what Dogecoin have done and Shiba Inu. That's all FOMO.
Yeah, no, it really is.
That's one of what, isn't it? Aren't there only like 4 tokens that have done a 10,000x? Isn't it Hex, Doge, Hex, Bitcoin, ETH, and Shiba Inu?
Yes. Yeah.
So 5 then? Doge is included?
I thought it was, but I could be wrong.
I would think it would be too.
One of the two, I think.
I know SHIB definitely did one. So I think it might be 5. But but still, guys, look how short that list is. There's thousands of new cryptos that come out, every month if you add all the chains together.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Shout out Fashion Coder fam. It was good meeting y'all in Vegas. You too. Vegas was so fun.
It was such a blast.
I had such a good time.
Are you guys doing the cruise?
I don't know. Oh,
I'm in the same spot.
This. Yes, we texted about this.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so my sisters that are younger than me, they're twins, and they're both graduating this semester, and it's during that week.
Oh, yeah.
I know, and my mom was telling my dad he probably can't miss it, which I agree. But then I feel bad if I miss it too, because I missed their high school graduation because I was in Fiji. And so I'm like, maybe I shouldn't miss their college graduation. I don't know. So
hey, family's everything. You know what I mean? I say be there for them. Like there will be plenty more Hex events. Like that's family. Put family first. That's just my.
Exactly. Yeah. Precisely that. So we probably won't be there. And you're on the edge too, right?
Yep, I'm on the edge as well.
It sounds fun. Like I want to go.
I absolutely want to. I just have a lot of things that are coming together, like projected around that time, and I just need to make sure that I'm in a position to be able to let them go without my attention for the whole time. You know, like I got a bunch of different real world projects that are going on that have a lot of stuff that's going to be happening, you know, the beginning of the second quarter of the year. So
exactly. Yeah. And also just work wise, I don't know if I have enough time, just like with the projects that I work on, if I could even do that.
Yeah.
Like where my teams are at and how I need to help them. So, and I mean, they could probably function without me for a week, but then I'm behind a week in what knowledge and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, you know, you can work remote. I'm sure it would have Wi-Fi.
yeah,
but it's harder when you got
Wi-Fi, which is always an interesting time.
yeah, but you got the family thing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we will see.
And is there going to be? There's not going to be a March Hex conference, is there?
I haven't heard anything.
Like I don't think there's anything scheduled for it. We would know by now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Maddie just did the conference on, you know, for the Hex conference where Richard spoke and where I think all of us were there, and that was cool. Like it's really cool to see how Maddie gets everyone together. You know.
Yeah. He's awesome.
He absolutely is. Powerhouse.
Yeah, does such a good job. Okay, if you have any other questions, put them in the chat.
We got Tim Crane asking, can you move a stake?
Can you?
So you can move a stake if you staked it as a hex staking instance through the Hedron side, right? Like if you have a native hex stake, then it's there. Your tokens are burned, and essentially once your stake matures, then you can remint them along with the rewards. If you did a hex staking instance though, then it does become an ERC 721 or an NFT that you can transfer through wallets if you tokenize it.
Right.
So,
but if you wanted just if you just have a regular stake that you just did on go.hex.com, the only way you could do that is to emergency end stake, and then move your hex, your penalized hex to another wallet. So no, you can't. So that's why I wanted to move everything off of my original staking wallet to once we go with PulseChain, to move those off just to limit the amount of risk from just in case anything. So those are the ones that I've staked, 10 and 15 years are just going to be on that wallet, but I'm just moving everything off just to limit risk. So yeah.
I agree. And have you guys been paying much attention to Maddie's smartvault.me thing?
I haven't.
So it's basically, I mean, he's working on it, and he has a dev that's on it, and I mean it's a really cool concept, basically, where it's where you can kind of like, you can stake your Pulse and your PulseX if you wanted to, but it basically once you put it in there, you can go up to, I want to say 30 years or something like that. But basically what happens is you get a drip that comes out of it, and of that coin, and you can't, without getting too complex, you can earn potentially some yield from some penalties. But basically the best part about it is that there's a chance to reverse a hack if it does come to fruition, because what it basically does is if you do make a withdrawal for anything that you put into your smart vault, it basically it asks for, I think it takes a week. There's a week delay on it. And then you also set a backup wallet as like your as if anything happened, like if your keys got stolen, you can choose to trigger it to go to the backup wallet, and that hacker is likely not going to have your backup wallet as well. So you can almost reverse a hack potentially, so go to his channel to learn more about it. But I'm just, it's just something I'm thinking about as we keep bringing up like the risks of wallets. Like it's just something that is cool to look into.
Right. No, that's good. You have almost some redundancy and some.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good. All right. What do we got next?
Was
You need to tell mom that. That better be the first time or first
Yeah.
thing you tell her once we're up to
Okay, when we're done.
Okay. My mom's gonna be like, what the heck? Okay, currently sitting on a pile of hex because the snapshot eager to stake. Is it time or hold off from Alex? Also, hello. What do y'all think? I'm staking. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm doing. This is not financial advice, but that's what I've been doing. Is I've been staking. I've been sitting on just some hex that has been liquid. I don't know why I didn't stake it, but I've been sitting on it since May, and I was like, oh well, that's dumb. Why wouldn't I have it staked? So that's what I'm doing personally.
You can just do a short time one, and that's what I did because I was waiting for everything to go last mid-May, and so I had a bunch of hex and I just sat on it for like 6 months, and I'm like, well, I got to put it in. So I put it in, like I said, for like 2 months because I figured that was my time frame. I would like to have some liquid hex, but regardless if it's liquid or if it's staked right now, you will get the coins at one point, right? Even if PulseChain comes out, your stake will be on the other side, and you'll be able to mint those when your stake's up. So, but you will be getting yield if you are staked, because it's almost as if you're not keeping up with everybody else if you're not staked with everything at some point with some amount. But a little liquid, I think, is okay. But I lost 6 months, and how much did you just sitting on your 6 or 9 months of just waiting liquid hex? Yeah. So yeah, I think it's
a lot of dilution.
Yeah, it is. It gets diluted because you're not keeping up with everybody else who's staked. So yeah, I would stake, even if it's just a short time. You're getting something rather than nothing.
Yep, and gas fees aren't that crazy right now, like it's
Were you in like the $2 range for your fees today? $2.50?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
That's
I think
great.
the highest I paid for something was like $7 a fee. I was like, I will happily pay $7 compared to like the 80 that I paid one time.
Oh yeah, gosh, I don't even want to talk about some of those fees I was seeing when I was testing my short-term stakes out in the beginning. Like, oh my gosh, oh man,
it'll kill you. When did you guys hear of Richard?
Do you want BitBoy Crypto, Ben Armstrong?
Shout out, yeah.
I was watching his show every day, and I think I don't know what the date was. It was sometime March 2020 or something. February, March. He brought Richard on, and that's the first time I knew. I wish I'd been like some of the guys who've been in 2017, and I would have probably. Well, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to have been an OG Hexagon, but that's okay. I got in about 3 months later. So, but you get in when you figure it out. So,
yeah, that's the same thing. And mine was I heard about it was the same thing. It was BitBoy's channel. It was a couple months before the PulseChain sacrifices I mentioned earlier. So that would have been, I want to say it was like April or May of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and so yeah, that's how. And shout out BitBoy. BitBoy's been yeah, I mean, I appreciate him for that, certainly, and he's a nice guy. I've DM'd with him a few times. He's cool.
No, he is a nice guy. I think he gets a bad rap, but I like him. I watched him this morning because I wanted to see live the reaction of the DOJ information on that crypto exchange in Russia, or I can't remember where it was.
What was it? What happened? I've been busy the last few days. Pretty busy.
They had found this crypto exchange laundering money. So, just from dirty money, just trying to legitimize it. So that's basically what happened. I'm sure I didn't get it all right. So
it dropped like $1,000. Like the whole market dropped just a little bit because
it dropped. Bitcoin dropped $1,000, and then it came back about 500. after that because they're all scared. So, but
Yeah, 5% drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Okay, let's see. Y'all think Hedron icosa will do more X's this bull than Hex because it's the first cycle. Also, icosa staking APY is like 377% versus Hex 38%. So which would be better? Icosa, right? This is a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, I like all the projects. You know, I mean, it's I think any project that's built around Hex is kind of like the foundation. The T share really is like the mechanism of you know determining tokenomics and things like that. I think is phenomenal. I mean, if you know like if you know like if price is going to stay the same, or if you think that they're gonna, well, he's asking that, which do we think it'll do more X's? I don't know. I mean, hard to say. Like with Hex being the most popular token, I mean, how and Crypt, I mean, if Sloth is still in here, I love talking to Sloth about Hedron and icosa. That he's got a beautiful mind with it. But you know, I don't know. I think Hex will have more more marketing behind it, and the word will get out more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot. That's a great APY, and I have all of them, so you know, I'm happy.
Yeah,
if any of them do well.
Exactly. No, I agree. Dad, do you have anything you want to add to that?
You know, I haven't. I own Hedron and I staked all my Hedron for icosa, and I got in on the 10x, which is nice. But I haven't spent a lot of time. I told Hexray when I saw him a couple weeks ago, he's like, "Did you do this?" And I said, "No, I was tired. I didn't want to put the energy into."
It was a lot of energy. Like I remember that when it came out, when icosa came out, like it, and also the what are the NFTs called?
The Wattses.
The Wattses, yeah. I mean, I remember I was out I was out at dinner with a crypto buddy of mine who's a non-Hexagon. So those are always interesting times, you know, because we end up getting into debates and things like that. I remember that dinner. He's like, dude, can you just agree when we're together that we just don't talk about Richard Hart stuff? And I'm like, no, like I'm going to talk about it, you know? And he's like, well, can we just not talk about Richard? I'm like, well, sure, we can talk about the projects. That's fine. You know, but he's opened up to him more now. But anyway, I remember that night I came home and I was like, all right, tomorrow's the day. Or no, it was a Friday night and Sunday was the day that it was launching. And I spent the rest of that night, Saturday and Sunday morning, like doing the research. Cause there's a lot of game, you know, there's a lot of different game mechanics in that, you know?
I think it's great. I just haven't had the energy. I'm like, okay.
It does take it. That's what I'm trying to say, is it takes a lot of energy.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'll just pull my Hedron off and stake it for more icosa. But I didn't get into the Wattses and everything. I have some friends that did. And I just was kind of just tired at that point. I
threw a couple $100 in, like, you know, last man standing, you know, I mean, hey, I learned enough from, you know, losing a lot of Bitcoin early on that they're spending a lot of it early on that, you know, hey, I can hold for a long time. So I'll keep throw a few $100 at them, different ones, and hold them for a long time.
Yep.
You know?
That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
Well, how is it going to hurt?
Right.
Yeah. It's not.
BB had a good one. Okay, go ahead and do that one.
Zen.
That's an interesting point.
Topic.
Well, it's controversial, but so it's interesting that that's being brought up, because I was actually, so when Jack had first come out and launched it, you know, like he had said something that did come across as very sideways about Richard, and he was on Crypto Kindness channel, and I was like, hey dude, can I pop on stream and ask Jack some questions? And I remember that I asked him you know, some questions just about the way things came across to Hexkins, etc. But one of the things I asked is, I said, Zen coming over to PulseChain is not necessarily going to be the same way as it's launching on all the other chains, because it will already have a supply, whereas, you know, like so I don't know, I just think the front end would be different. I don't know if it would have the same. That might be one coin where it would be a bit different than the way it's been on other chains.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I was on Jim Rat's channel a couple days ago, maybe it was last week, and we were talking about this. And I feel like Hexicans have a very different opinion towards it because some people like it, some people hate it, some people just don't like Jack. But I actually really like him. And funny enough, Google used to be my like dream company to work for.
Yeah.
So the fact that like he's an ex-Googler and all that, like
Right.
just to me, like from my background, I'm like, that's awesome. Like I think that that's really cool. And I mean, I've gotten to meet him in person, and he's really nice. So I don't know. It's just
He seems like a very nice guy. Like he was very
Yeah.
nice when I talked to him.
Yeah. So it's just funny how it's controversial, but here we are. Okay, let's move on. Tintop, hello. Good to see you. Hexican Spook. And then let's see. I know we all love RH projects, but are there any other coins you guys are invested in?
Hedron, Icosa,
Yeah.
Maximus. Like I'm investing pretty much all the coins in the ecosystem, and that's what I focus my attention on, because I mean there are other coins. There's certainly other coins that I've invested in historically, like before I knew about Hex.
Yeah.
And like I mean I still got some BNB. I still got some a bunch of different tokens, but like I'm just letting those sit. I haven't taken the time to really swap them over because it's not huge amounts. And but why wouldn't I focus my time on what I think is going to do the most amount of X's? And in my personal opinion, I think that stuff in the Hex and PulseChain ecosystem are going to do the most X's.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that's where we started was with things like Cardano and so
Ethereum. I mean, that was the first coin I ever bought was Ethereum.
Yeah, Ethereum. I mean, we used Ethereum basically just to go on good old Binance when we had the
Chinese version.
Yeah, the Chinese version was awesome. So we got kicked off that. But no, I own a lot. I own a lot of coins, and a lot of them have done very well. I still hold a bunch of them, just because I just spread everything around on lots of ecosystems, and Hex has done the best out of all the systems. So that's the one that but I still own Gala Games. I still own Near Protocol and Algorand. I've still purchased all of those other, even some Aptos. I own a bunch just to spread it out. But most of my stuff is in Richard Hart projects, just because I think they'll do the best. But I still own them just to limit risk and have different opportunity. But where I've done the best is in Hex. So yeah, it's, and I think it's okay. I mean, both of us are still just staking all our Cardano for a long term. Yeah. It's fine. They'll probably, I don't know, we'll just see. But yeah.
Cardano's actually, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm just
Are you doing it in BitBoy staking pool?
No.
He's Cardano staking pool. I know that was one of the big things that they were doing over there. Was like a big Cardano staking pool.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Cardano's my biggest winner, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of your timing?
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I put all my money into Hex now when I invest. But, I mean, Hex was not the first coin I invested into. And so, yeah, it's interesting where people get in and when they get in and how they get in, because that really shapes how they deal with crypto. And I mean, Hex did really well for my dad. And so, and I believe in the product now. But yeah, we did not get in at the same time.
Yeah.
My dad got in like, a year and a half earlier than I did into Hex. So I already had all of these other cryptos. And I mean, they've done me well. But yeah, it's just what point you get in.
Yeah. We got in to most crypto right after the 2018 crash, right when it was in the bear. So Cardano was like 2 cents, 2.6 cents, something like that. And so, and when we'd invest, we wouldn't invest thousands, we'd invest hundreds, right? And that's the case with most of them, you
Yeah.
know, and that was actually the case with Hex.
Yeah.
So it was hundreds rather than thousands.
Yeah. And then as time has gone on, both of us have believed more in other projects like Hex. And so
Well, I can't hear you guys. Keep talking.
Oh, no.
My earphones are doing something weird. My headphone.
Oh no, okay. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, let's say hi to some people. Fat Sammy, hello. Good to see you. Did you know that Richard Hart's top call has been in profit every day except for one where it made the Judas candle to wreck traders and get everybody levered up for a double top? Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And then just real quick on that last point, the Bitcoin was my biggest gainer because of when I got in, you know, and held on to it. But I mean, Hex is the one that I have the most confidence in.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's, you know, that's when you got in and that's where you're at. And
yeah,
it's great. But we're now part of this community and we believe in this product.
Exactly. So I hope I didn't cut you guys off. Like I have these Shure headphones, you know, that are like really good, but there's a loose wire, and so I might need to hop over to my other ones because if I move the cord, I seem to like lose everything, and then so I tweak it. And so if you hear me not hearing it, it's because I'm trying to fix it. I might just throw these big ones on.
Okay, sounds good. Whatever's good. Sorry about that. R23, if you don't watch a bit Hex stream with Jack Levin, you all should. We were talking about this in the green room actually. So go check that out. Johnny, hello.
Empire Tat.
Let's see. Who else? Norm Dev.
I like what Tim Top said. Zen or Pulse Zen and Pulse Zen 2.0. I mean, that's kind of funny because like that's what it would be. That's like there's already a P-Zen. Sorry, you can't create one because there already is one.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Okay, let's see. Any fear of people selling EHEX to get into PHEX? Gas is cheaper, therefore better product. There's potential in that. But also people have stakes on Ethereum. Like, I mean, I have a stake that ends in 15 years.
Right.
So, like, people still have that.
I think if we're talking about it right now here in 2020, first quarter 2023, still in the middle of a bear market, you know, if you're getting into either of those, I mean, obviously PHEX isn't out yet, like it is on testnet, but if you're getting into any of those, you're going to be a happy camper in a few years. You know, you're going to be very happy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Same.
Which isn't professional.
It's not financial advice either.
Correct. Exactly.
Ooh, I have this hat. I'll grab it. Dad, you ask a question or something. I'm going to grab this hat super quick.
Okay, let's see. We'll move on to the next one. It says Hex can spook. It says Hedron and icosa will outpace Hex at first, but Hedron has a price ceiling at which point it pulls Hex up with it higher. Can't go wrong. Yeah, and let's see. Let's see, don't miss out on staking your icosa. I need to stake it because I'm just staking my Hedron for icosa, so I need to pull that out and get that. It says APY 377. Oh, there you go.
Hey, there you go. I like it. I like
One
it.
of our crypto friends gave me that.
That's cool. And Fat Sammy, what's happening, man? I saw you messaging earlier, and I didn't want to interrupt, but good to see you. And Tin Top as well, my man.
Yeah, you have a good crowd here.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, HEXIEST Man, thank you so much for being here. Where can we find you? So
yeah, first of all, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to hang out with both of you. And you can find me on Twitter at the HEXIEST Man, and my YouTube channel it's Network Effects, but I thought I was being really clever with it's network and then E/PHEX. So it's spelled EHEX and PHEX, right? For ETHEX and PulseChain Hex. But I'm probably gonna change it to just Network Effects and then like in parentheses put, I don't know. I want to make it easier to find. But we will be streaming again on Gen Hex here soon on Saturdays at 3. So that's a good tune into look on the Gen Hex channel because we will probably get back to weekly streams there.
Cool.
And then I sometimes go on DeFi Sexy Ladies. Like they have a fun show, and just there's I go on. I'm going to be on Furu Finance tomorrow at on his daily stream. So
Sweet.
you can catch me there.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much. And Dad, thanks so much for being here too. This was a great conversation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's fun.
we'll have to do something like this again soon.
Agreed.
Cool. Awesome. All right. And thanks to everyone in the chat for asking such good questions.
Good questions. Yeah, great questions.
Great questions. Agreed.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thank you. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thanks.